Okay, now we're going to take a look at the outro solo for Electric Gypsy. And I left the last video lesson coming out of the theme when we got to this, when we basically made it to this section. When we got right there at that 6, instead of doing the, he starts leading into the outro solo. So that starts at the 6th fret here on the G string. Pick it and slide up to 7, pick and slide up to 9, pick and slide up to 11, pick and slide up to 14. Then pick 16 and 18, and then come back to 16 and do a whole step bend. Then we have a whole step bend at the 15th fret on the B string. Then pull off from 15 to 7. You do that twice. Pull off from 15 to 14. And then slide backwards into 14 real quick. And then come over to the 3rd string and play 14 to 16. Then we're going to play 15, 17, 15 on the B string, and when we get to that second 15, we're going to do a whole step bend on it. Then pull off 15 to 14. Then come back 15, 17, and do a whole step bend on 17. Then come over to 14 on the high E, pick 14, 17, whole step bend, and do kind of a bend release and pick it again when it's at full bend. So we have so far. Then we do a quick little pull off from 15 to 14. And then we kind of start this big run here, where we do a pull off. We pick 15, 14 once. That's after doing the pull off there from 15 to 14. And then we're going to do a pull off from 17 to 15 to 14. Come over to 17 on the B string. Back to 15, 14. Pull off 17, 14 on the B string. And then down to the 16th fret on the 3rd string. So we have this. Then we're going to pick 15, pull off to 14 on the B, 16, pull off to 14 on the G, and then 12th fret, the 16th fret on the D string. So we have, when we get to this, pull off here, 15, 14, 17 to 14, 16, then 17, 14, 16 again. And then we have this 15 to 14, all the way down to the 16 there on the D string. Then we come back to the 14 on the B string. Over to the 14 on the G, hammer on to 16. Then quickly slide down into the 14th fret on the D string, pull off to 12, and then play 14 on the A string. Let me just go through what we have so far. Then pull off from 14 to 12 on the D, then 14 to 12 on the A. Back to, now we're going to come to the 12 on the D string, then hammer back on 12, 14 on the A string, then hammer 12, 14 on the D, slide up to 16, 14, on the G, 16 back on the D, 14 back on the G. So we have so the whole run from the top. Now we're going to do a whole step bend at the 16th fret on the G string. Then we're going to pick 15 on the B and then 14 on the G real quick. Then come back to that 15 and pick it twice. Then back down to the 14. Then up to the 17 on the B string, pick that twice. Then down to the 14 on the G. Whole step bend at the 17 now on the B string. Grab that high E, the 15th fret. Another whole step bend at the 17 on the B. He does a little kind of a hand slide down the strings really quickly. And then another whole step bend at the 17th fret on the B. All right, now we have a series of two triplets. So we're going to have 14th fret hammered on to 17, pull back off to 14. Then we're going to pull off from 15 to 14 and come over and grab the 15 on the B string. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we have a series of some quick trills here. So we have with the 12th fret, hammer on the 14 and pull back off to 12, and then 14 on the B string. And we're going to kind of continue that pattern now. So we have that, and then we're going to do the same thing at the 10th fret. I'm sorry. Instead of grabbing the note on the B string there, the 12th, skip over and grab it 12th fret on the G. So we have to skip a string there. Then we're going to go hammer pull at the 10 and 12 on the B string, and then grab 11 on the G string. And then do the same thing, but 2 frets lower. So far. Then 7, 8 hammer pull, and then grab the 9 on the G. And then on the G string, 7, 9 hammer pull, and then grab the 9 on the D. So it's really the same pattern, just kind of using different, just going down through the scale. Now we get back to the G string, 3rd fret, at the end of this run. Whole step, bend and release, pull off to the 7, back down to the 9 on the D. Pick 9 again, roll over to 9 on the G, then do a hammer pull on the 9th fret, on the 7 to 9 on the G, pull off 9 to 7 on the D, pick 9 on the A, back to 7 on the D. So we have, coming out of that last kind of hammer pull sequence we were doing. Then grab the 9th fret, slide it down to 7, pull off to 5, then the open string. So we have all together. Then we grab the 7th fret and do a series of whole step bends at the 7th fret on the G string. And then a half step bend at the 6th fret behind it. And resolve it down to the 4th fret, still on the G. Then we do a series of octaves. Starting the octave shape built off the 2nd fret on the 5th string and its octave note at the 4th fret on the G string. Make sure you keep the note muted in between the two, so you just want to hear those 2 strings. And the series that he's going to be strumming these all the way up. They're going to be from the 2nd fret to the 4th, to the 5th, to the 7th, to the 9th. You're going to hold the 9 a little bit. Then quickly go up to the 12, and then hit the 14th fret one once. All right, so from there, we're going to do a kind of a pre-half step bend at the 17th fret on the B string. It's a pre-half step bend already. You're going to pick it and raise it up so it's a whole step bend, and then back down to a whole half step bend, and then back up. So it's kind of you're going to end up being a whole step bend at the end, but it's already pre-bent. It's a very kind of interesting sound. It kind of comes out of nowhere. All right, and then we're going to have this lick. That's basically going to be the last lick in the solo. So what we have here is 14 to 17 on the high E. And then we're going to pick 17 on the B. Then back to 14 on the high E. Reach up and grab 19 on the high E. Then 17 on the B. Then 17 on the high E. So we had. Then we have 17 back on the E, back on the B string, back to the 14 on the high E, and do that again, 17, 14 again. Then come over to the 14th fret on the B string. They're going to do a pull off from 15 to 14 to 16 on the G string. And then we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to keep it going down a little bit further. Pull off 15 to 14, then 16 to 14 on the G, and then 16 to 14 on the D. Shift down really quickly to the 14th fret on the G string, slide down to the 12. Pull off to 11, then to 9, and slide it down to 7. And then pull off 9 to 7 on the D string. And then quick slide from 9 to 11 on the G string. I'm sorry. And then the 7th fret on the G string. So that whole run, one more time. And then we go straight back into the main theme again. Now instead of this landing on the 10th fret here, we end the song by going to an open G power chord, which is going to be the low 6th string 3rd fret and pretty much the 2 middle strings together on the D and the G string. Keep that 5th string muted. And then he has an acoustic guitar come in really lightly in the background. And that's going to give you kind of this sound. You're going to keep holding the same chord, but add the 3rd, at the 2nd fret on the 2nd string here. I'm still muting the A string, but all the other strings are ringing except for the 1st string. Just go back and forth between those. That's what the acoustic's doing in the background. And then we're going to end it with, it's just the open 3rd string open, the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and then the 2nd fret on the 1st string. Okay, and that's it for Elegant Gypsy by Andy Timmons. It's a great song. It's got a lot of cool like Hendrix influences and some cool shred parts. So there's a lot to sink your teeth into, a lot of notes, but I think it can sound really nice, and most of it is relatively kind of intermediate level. So it can be, a lot of it at least can be played by a large majority of players. Okay, so I hope you guys have fun with it, and I'll see you guys soon with the next lesson. Bye-bye.